Well, a new report from the Howe Institute finds that federal, provincial, and territorial governments should be more transparent about how they tax and spend. So the report gives grades for financial accountability. The federal government got a D. That's down from a C last year. Howe says that the downgrade was due in part to inconsistent accounting and delayed financial statements. So the Ontario government got a B-, which that's up from a C+ in 2024. So for more on this, we're joined by the co-author of the report, Nick DeHeer, with the Howe Institute. Nick, good afternoon. Thanks a lot for joining us. So first off, let's just lay out what this report is.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. So let me be very clear. Our report card doesn't look at whether governments are spending too much or taxing too little, or whether their programs succeed or fail. What we're interested in is their transparency. We're all stakeholders for the governments. It's our money. So for them to be held accountable, every one of those stakeholders, that is all of us, should be able to pick up the budget and the financial statements of their provincial, territorial, and the federal government and be able to identify the key numbers and make judgments about those questions themselves.
Okay, so how does that come into play? Look, we're maybe a couple weeks away from the next budget's being released.
Yeah, for the federal government, yes. The fiscal year for Canada's senior governments, the federal government included, runs from April 1st to March 31st. So the federal government is very, very late in producing its fiscal plan for this fiscal year. It's sort of like, which is a huge barrier to accountability. It's sort of like, planning for your hike after you already started going for a walk. So we, in our report card, we demerit the federal government for producing such a late budget.
Okay, so looking at the provincial level, Alberta, an A+, Ontario, B-. What happened?
Well, Alberta does very, very well on our scorecard. They legislate that their budget be released before the start of the fiscal year. They are one of the only governments to produce a budget in February, which is very good. They also put their key numbers right up front. In both their budgets they release before the start of the fiscal year, and the financial statements that report on the actual finances of the government after the year has ended. Their numbers are right up front. They use consistent accounting in all of their documents, so anyone who can read or write is able to, and can add and subtract, are able to compare the fiscal plan from the start of the year with what happened at the end of the year and make suggestions to their representatives and stewards of the public funds. So as for Ontario, the election for earlier this year sort of delayed the release of their main estimates and budget. So that's a problem on a fiscal accountability front. But other than that, they do a very good job at keeping the numbers up front. Close to the start of the document, they compare the fiscal plan they have for the upcoming year with the results from the latest year they have available, so that they know the context of the government's capacity to deliver services as they enter into the next fiscal year.
Okay, so break this down for us, Nick. Look, we pay a lot in taxes. Why should we be concerned? What does this say to us about, the fiduciary responsibility of the government, how they're spending our money?
Exactly. The senior governments, the provinces and territories and the federal government loom large in Canadians' lives. They tax our income from work and savings, and they deliver very important services like healthcare and education. And the money, the resources that they have ultimately come from us, the taxpayer. They answer to us. And so their financial reports need to be clear to all of us. And this scorecard that we produced this year is the latest in a long run of scorecards we've produced on the senior governments. We also do one on the municipalities. And over time, they've gotten better. But it is important that everyone be able to understand the fiscal picture of their senior governments.
Okay, Nick DeHeer with the Howe Institute. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.